Hey guys, what's up? This is Immune Basis, and I kind of want to divert from the whole talking about cartoons just for tonight, and I just wanted to ask a question, and anybody who's watching this, please give me a good answer for this. But I'm wanting to know: is the ghost real? Is the ghost real? And Nancy Drew, Ghost of Thornton Hall. And it's a good game. I am not gonna lie. How did I get into this game? Into the whole Nancy Drew series? I can thank Arglefump, aka Michael Gray. That dude is freaking awesome. I love the guy. I was there when he did the live streams and everything. My favorite one was probably when he did the Shadow of Water's Edge, and believe me, I've played Shadow of Water's Edge and I've literally almost pissed myself, but but it's pretty cool that they actually had a little bit of anime and all that cool stuff to it. That's why it's one of my favorites. But my big one-time favorite is Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. That's my favorite of all. But that's just me. So I've looked through everything that's just happened, like how the walls. Like how the wall jumps at you, the little help me on the little fireplace, how the eyes blink, how the Grim Reaper does this, and how Nancy Drew's name gets on the thing. And basically, like, you see her ghost, Charlotte's ghost, and the shadows that go by, and the whole fainting, and I'm trying to think of the other one that I saw. I do not remember, but I probably will later on. And the statue's head turning. Now, I can explain how the eyes are blinking. Harper is actually spying on, I think it was Clara. She's spying on her and everything else. So it's pretty cool and interesting to see. So that's explainable. How do you explain the whole Grim Reaper on the mausoleum go from this to this? You can't explain it. There's no doors shutting. There's nothing. I mean, if you just zoom up to it, you look very closely. There's nothing to explain it. I mean, once you go back, it goes right back up. Like it fixed itself. You can't explain it. And, of course, the whole Nancy Drew thing coming onto the tomb over there by the 54 or 56 souls. I don't remember which one it was, but I'm pretty sure it's 54 souls. But how did her name get there in the first place? Who had a chisel or something like that? Because, of course, you see Wade come by and he talks to you about it, but that's it. That's it. They don't explain it. How do you explain that? You can't. Unless if somebody had a chisel and did it, because you question everybody that's there. No answer. There's no answer. And what about the statue turning its head? I've talked to everybody on the island. I've talked to Wade. I've talked to Clara. I've talked to Colton. I've talked to Savannah. Everybody on that fucking game. No one. And I've literally went up to it, and I've seen if there was machine parts or anything to it. I've literally looked closely. I've taken pictures of it 20 times, I counted, just to see nothing. You can't explain it. I literally probably went under the house to see if there was any way, like any like little old Easter eggs. No, not the Easter eggs that you find, but like any Easter eggs, like to see like how the head turns. Nothing. Oh, and I do want to explain, how do you explain the porch swing going back and forth, when you turn right? When Colton's on the other side. there's no wind. Is Claire doing it? Oh no, she's not doing anything. She doesn't explain anything about it. And it just swings, and then stops in motion. Is there any machinery? No, because it's not explained anymore. You only see that. And of course, the shadows. How do you explain the shadows? Because when you go to the shadows, I see them quite a bit in the game. And I'm sitting there like, okay. So I look left, because the shadow's going left. You can't go left. And once you're in the little cotton room area looking thing, you go out. And you see a shadow go left. There's nothing there but a fucking wall. And there's no projectors around. Because I've checked. The only projector around is in that cotton room. So how can you fucking explain that shit? You fucking can't. Now, how are you going to explain the whole Charlotte? No. Before I explain the whole Charlotte goes, that'll be the big part. How do you explain the whole hearing the ghost singing in the room? Because when you enter Charlotte's room, you hear her sing, but you don't see a ghost at all. That's something that I can't explain. Because I've looked for recorders, everything. Because she only died in 1989, which was probably the fall of glam metal and grunge was coming out. Which is a pretty sucky way to die, because, yeah. But anyways, die in 89, but anyways. No, but seriously though, you can't explain it. And how do you explain the whole, the whole fucking, when you go to Charlotte's room, you see, like, the lights flickering and the door opening, correct? And I don't see any light switches anywhere. I mean, literally, they stay on, and when you go to it, the door's locked. You turn around, the door is just fine. I mean, literally, there's like no mechs, nothing to it. So how can you explain the door closing? You fucking can't. And how do you explain the help me getting on the fireplace? It's encrypted on there, and then it disappears. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking illusionist. I can't fucking explain that shit. And nobody says anything about it in the game. Now, here's my really, really funny part. When you exit Charlotte's room, you see the wall. It like just comes at you like somewhat a little bit, then it goes back. And that's like kind of like the exit area. And I'm sitting there looking. It's nothing but drywall, insulation, and all that shit. I don't know. Can't explain it. I can't explain it because there's no mirrors, there's no walls, nothing. Now, of course, when you see Harper and everything, you basically have a selection of where you say, I think you're dressing up as Charlotte and haunting the place. And towards the end of the game, they say, oh, but the faulty furnace and everything, it kind of made you dizzy and everything. It made you hallucinate Victorian era stuff. Okay. One, Harper looks nothing like Clara at all much. And here's my funny part. Harper, yeah, then Clara is trying to honestly, I think she might have been doing it, but here's the fun part, okay? How do you explain her, like, when you force her to say something or something like that, she's like, I'm sorry, I have to do this. Fire so red, fire so black. Dear sweet Charlotte, please come back. If I said the chant wrong, I'm sorry, but that's it. And then you see Charlotte, like, literally, like, right there. She kills you. How the fuck do you explain that? And when you're in that little room, that little area where Charlotte died because of the fire, you see her going down a spiral staircase and disappearing. You can't fucking explain this shit. Because there's no fucking projector around. I mean, seriously. And then, of course, you see her dancing towards you or some shit like that. Or, like, reaching towards you. And then she bursts into, like, fire and then you pass out. How the hell can you pass out? Well, of course, there's been supernatural phenomenons that have been known to do that. But you always pass out somehow for some long, stupid reason. And another thing I can't explain. How can you explain the whole ghost phenomenon going on in the house? Because, like I said, the only projector is in the fucking cotton room. So she comes at you, then she disappears in the hallway. You turn around, and then you see her come at you. And that's it. Now, if you save Harper but don't save Clara, here's the fun part. Somebody actually emails Nancy and says, I saw two women dancing or something over the fire of the house. And it said it kind of creeps her out, and she said she feels like she's forgetting something, but it creeps her out. So, how do you explain that? It's fucking unbelievable, the evidence. I mean, she says the ghosts aren't real. Shadow at Water's Edge was a freaking robot. The ghost dogs were freaking trained dogs, okay? The Blue Moon, last train to Blue Moon Canyon, actually, I think that might have been a ghost, but it was just probably stars or bugs dancing into the form of the ghost of the prospector's wife, but, and the haunted carousel, nobody's haunting it. It was just basically something that was hit by a button that would come on at night. And of course, Wizards of Waverly Place. I'm sorry. Okay, warnings at Waverly Academy. Sorry about that. They say a ghost of one of the teachers possesses a cat and comes back and haunts him. There's no sign of no fucking cat. There's no sign of no ghost. That was the whole speculation. And instead, it's just the black girl who basically just, yeah. It's kind of funny how Nancy says ghosts aren't real and Savannah's been right this whole time and everything else. I've told you my honest and best explanation. The ghost has to be real in the game because there's some things that you can't explain. I mean, seriously. There's some things that you cannot explain, so it's up to you guys, but that's my honest opinion, and those are my answers. So, alright guys, this is Emmy and Basis. I don't know if the ghost is real or not, Nancy Drew, but that's my honest opinion. I say yes it is, but then there might be people say no, but alright guys, this is Emmy and Basis. I talked and oriented about if the ghost of Nancy Drew is real or not. And I hope you all have a good day or night when you're watching this. And please comment, because I'd like to know what you all think, if it's real or not, because give me some good explanations. So please do that, and I'd be really happy about that, and I will respond. So thank you, and have a good night or day when you're watching this.